Hey guys, I thought I'd come on out here right quick and grab a piece of rosemary so that I can use it. We are on my deck. It's bright and sunny out here. Those are my tomatoes. Just want to go over here and snip a piece of this rosemary. Just need a couple pieces. Just a couple. Get them from the top so that they can keep growing. Because rosemary is pretty strong. So these two little sprigs, that'll be just perfect. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be cooking some pork chops. They are about an inch thick, if you can see that really good there. We're going to just pan sear them, then I'm going to finish them off in the oven. They'll have a nice crust on them. I'm going to use my cast iron skillet here. While that's heating up, we're just going to get our seasoning on here and everything, and just put a couple of tablespoons of olive oil in here, so have something to not stick to. You want to get it good and hot so that when you stick the pork chops in the skillet, you want to hear that noise. Once you hear that, you know you're golden. And you want to season both sides really well, but before you start seasoning them, it's really good to take a paper towel and just kind of dry them off. They will actually sear a little bit better if they're dried off. So you just want to take a paper towel and just kind of dry them off a little bit. It looks like I'm going to need another paper towel here. Okay. And we just want to dry them off real good. They don't have to be super dry, but you want to use a nice paper towel. That's easier than anything else. Just kind of wipe them down so they're not really wet. That way when that crust gets in there and they sear in that skillet, it's going to be delicious. Okay, so we are going to put some salt. Always put your seasoning on up a little high. You want it to rain. That way it's covered and you're not going to get salt or seasoning all in one spot. It's going to be evenly distributed over your entire piece of meat. So let it rain, people. Let it rain. That's salt and pepper. And we're using onion powder, garlic powder. I pretty much use, those are my two go-to seasonings. Onion powder and garlic powder. I use those on everything. We're going to add some sage to the pork chops. It's not coming out too well. So we'll just add a little sage on there. And once we get them all seasoned up, a little basil, then we will rub it in really good. We're going to do this side first, then we're going to flip them over and do the other side. And a little thyme. After we get them started searing, once we flip them over the first time, we're going to add our fresh rosemary we just got out of the garden. We're going to add that, and we will put butter in the skillet as well and baste. That way when they go in the oven, they will stay nice and tasty. And you just want to rub that seasoning in. Rub it in so that it will stay on. It will form a nice crust once it hits the skillet. Turn them over right quick here so that we can do the other side. Turn that this way. Once we get them all seasoned, our skillet should be good and hot. If not, we'll give it a minute or two. Again, we're adding salt, thyme. This thyme doesn't want to come out of here for some reason. Probably used it over the heat. And you want your skillet to be nice and hot. And the way you can pretty much tell if your skillet is ready without putting anything in it, if I can hold my hand over it like this, it's not hot. Right now it's probably at medium heat. If I felt no heat at all, it would be cold. Once you can't hold your hand over that skillet for about a couple of seconds, then you know your skillet is really hot. Here we're going to add some sage again. I try to give the tips as I go along because that to me is always the hardest part of cooking. It's not so much the recipe, it's the tips and tricks that sometimes the recipes don't tell you. You know, if you don't know to rub the seasoning in, you won't rub it in. It'll tell you what seasonings to put on it, but most recipes then won't go to the next step and say, rub it in, rub it in. This is garlic powder. Put that on there. I just love my garlic powder and my onion powder. Those are my two go-to seasonings. I even put them in my eggs. I put them on everything. Yes, eggs. I said eggs. Eggs. A little salt, a little pepper. And then again, we just want to get in there and massage it. Massage it. That way you'll get that nice crust on there. Get in the crevices and everything. And my skillet still has to take a couple of seconds. So we'll just come back in a minute and it should be good and hot. Okay, we are back. I think my skillet's good and hot now. I want you guys to listen for a second, see if you can hear that sizzle as I put the pork chops in. See this one? You hear that? That's what you want to hear. You need to hear that sizzle to get that good crust on there. No sizzle, no crust. Brown food equals flavored food. So you want that crust on there so it can be nice and brown. When we flip it, we can get the other side. Then we'll baste. After we baste, we'll put it in the oven to finish it off. We're just going to let this sit on this side for maybe a minute or two. You don't want to disturb it while it's getting that crust on it. You just want it to sit there and sizzle. So we'll come back in a second. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes, so I think we're pretty much ready to turn it over. Let's see what kind of crust we have on there. Never stick a fork in your meat. Always use some tongs or something. And ooh, yay, nice and brown. Still hear that sizzle. Nice hard crust on the top of that. See what we have on this one. Yes, that's looking good. Yes, that's looking real good. I want to bring this in a little bit closer so you guys can take a real good look to see how that looks once I turn them over. See, they're still sizzling, and they look delicious. Now, while they are searing off on that side, we just want to put a couple of sprigs of rosemary in here, right on top. And we're going to add our butter, and then we are going to baste it while they are searing on that side. Make sure you have your olive oil and your butter in there. You just want to baste it. Then we'll put it in the oven and let them finish. Just baste it right on top of that rosemary to give it that good flavor. And you just want to baste for a few minutes. I'll show you guys what this looks like up close. And you just keep basting while it's searing on that side. This is what it should look like while it's sitting there in the butter and basting it. So you guys can see that up close. And I'm just going to finish basting this for a few more minutes. Then I'll put it in the oven and I'll show you what it looks like when we're all done. Hey, so I just took these out of the oven. We're going to let them sit and rest so that the juices will remain in there and they won't just run out. Then we'll see what we've got. We'll cut one and we'll taste. Hey, so we are back. The pork chops have rested. They rested maybe about 10 or 15 minutes. So we're just going to see what we have here right quick. That feels awful juicy and nice. Glistening. That is wonderful. Let's give it a taste. Okay, this is juicy. This is tender. And guess what, guys? Like, subscribe, share. I have to go because it's time to eat. Thanks for watching.